Hey guys, my name is Summer and I'm going to be doing the Draw My Life video. So my full name is actually Summer Faye Angelica Tadlock. Yes, it is all for Rugrats. And here's me whenever I was a baby. And I was born on March 3rd, 1994 in Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of people don't know this about me, but my mom is actually from El Salvador, which is a small country in Central America. And she moved to the USA whenever she was around my age, which is really scary. And she met my dad. And they dated for a few years and they eventually got married. And then a few years later, after that, they had my brother, my older brother. His name is Steven, and he is 2 years older than me. And I love him more than life. I cannot ask for a better brother. And then 2 years later, I popped out. There's me. It's the best baby I could do. And Steven and I were two peas in a pod. I mean, he has been my best friend since the day I was born, been there through everything, and we always had a really, really great relationship, and I could not imagine life without him. Although we've always gotten along, I do remember this one time whenever I was younger and I was playing with blocks, and I spent forever trying to fix this block, huge like Lego thing, and my brother came in there and he just wrecked it down, and I was so mad, and I like scarred him up, and we have it on tape. And that was hilarious. But other than that, we really did have a really great family, and you know, it was me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. And then 2 years later, after I was born, my parents got a divorce. So that was hard on all of our family, and kind of growing up without a dad, that was hard for a little bit, but it was okay because it got better and we got through it. And so 2 years after that, my mom fell in love with my stepdad, James, and they met. And they had a great relationship, and I finally felt like, you know, me and my family were getting a new start, and I was gonna have a father figure in my life again. And I remember the first time I ever saw him, I called him Daddy, and he told me the first time he ever saw me, he fell in love with me. Right away, we all knew that James was gonna eventually be our stepfather, and my mom fell in love with him also, and so they got married, and they are still together today, and they have a really, really great relationship. And we were all a family again, and I cannot be more happy to just have him in my life and everything be perfect. But there was something that was a downfall about my dad, and whenever we first met him, he was an alcoholic, and he was really heavy into it, and he actually had doctors tell him that he might not live because it was so severe. But something about him changed over the years. He gives all credit to God, and he's a new person now. He's been 10 years sober, he's my hero, he's my role model, and he's honestly the best person I've ever met. And so I really do look up to him. Although there were problems going on in my house, I was always so oblivious whenever I was younger. You know, I would ride my bike, and I loved to climb trees. That was like my favorite activity. I swear I was a monkey. And I really, really, really loved cats. I've had a cat every single year of my life since I was like 3. I'm serious. And I really love to sing. I love to sing. I love to play karaoke and just dance my room to NSYNC and Britney Spears. That was like my thing. I loved Backstreet Boys, and I always had fun just doing the things that I loved when I was younger, and I was so innocent to the world, and everything was so pure, and I was so happy. And I really do miss those days sometimes because I really did love my life, and I still do, but I just remember I was so innocent and pure. And then there's my mom. She has really, really big curly hair, especially in the 80s. You know how they all had that really big, funky, curly, wavy hair. And growing up, I always watched her do her makeup, and she always dressed up, and she was so feminine, and she's honestly the most strong and independent woman I've ever met in my entire life. And she's still my best friend and my role model, and I love her to death. If you're watching this, Mom, I love you. So my school days, whenever I was little in elementary school, I've never really had a problem making any friends. I liked boys, and I thought they were so cute. I didn't think they had cuties anymore. And I really had a thing for theater, actually. I loved the stage. I loved interacting with different people, and I loved acting different characters, and I really did have a love and passion for singing on stage. Once I got into high school, I felt kind of lost. I felt like, who am I? What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? And then I found YouTube, and I figured out makeup and fashion and hair. I came home every day after school and just drowned myself into watching videos. And then one day I thought I could be that girl, not expecting anything, just to make a video. And in 2010, I actually did. Put up an outfit of the day video. But at school, things weren't easy because kids would pick on me about it, and they would say that I was weird, and I was a weird YouTube kid, and I was bullied, and I was called a freak and a weirdo. And because I lived in Mississippi, it was a small town, people really didn't accept what I did. They thought, that's kind of weird, why would you do that? Because I wasn't the typical cheerleader, or I didn't dance, or I wasn't into gymnastics. But I stick to YouTube because it made me happy. For once in my life, it was the one thing that made me happy, and you all make me really happy. And because of that, I stuck to it, and now it's the most important thing in my entire life. And I kept doing videos because I realized this is what I want to do, and eventually I realized that you could start getting paid for it. So, you know, once I started doing more videos, I, would get paid for it, and that was awesome. I mean, I got to do videos for a job. Are you serious? That was like the best thing ever, and honestly, it's been the biggest blessing in my life, and I would never ever give it up. And throughout high school, I met a lot of friends, and I lost a lot of friends. You know, you realize who your real friends are, and you realize who your real friends never were. And you realize who you are, and you realize who you want to be. Growing up, it's hard, but I went through a lot, and in school especially, I was never the smartest kid. I never really made the best grades, halfway because I never really cared, because I put things ahead of it. But eventually, I toughened down, and I made myself do my schoolwork, and I actually got good grades. And I focused on things I shouldn't have, like boys in the wrong group, and if I was popular, if I wasn't, or who was. And I worried too much about gossip. But once I graduated, I realized none of those things really mattered, and I always stayed true to myself no matter what. And even though there's tons of kids who are doing the cool things, like, having sex or smoking drugs or drinking and stuff, that was never me. Not because I looked down on them, but because I watched the people that I love suffer from it, and I would never want to do that to myself. I stayed true to myself and my morals and what I want, and because of that, I found God. And He's been there for everything. Whenever I was lonely, whenever I was sad, He was there because He helped me and He loved me, and He saved me. And I would not be where I am without Him. And because of that, I said no to peer pressure, and I learned that you can be your own hero, and you don't have to look up to anybody else but yourself. Be someone you would look up to. I am the way I am today because of a lot of reasons, and because of the things that I went through in my life, and I learned from the people that I love. I learned a lot about high school, and even though it was hard, I had a lot of support growing up from my family and eventually school. I started getting a lot of support from YouTube. Everybody started noticing me and saying, "Oh, you're that famous YouTube girl," and I was actually on the front page of our local newspaper called the Clarion Ledger, which is huge. That was really awesome, and I was actually on the news twice, and I had so much love and support from the people who once made fun of me. They were saying, "Wow, that's awesome that you do that. I'm so jealous. I want to make YouTube videos. Why didn't I think of that?" But because I never stopped, I am where I am today. I never stopped hope. And even though high school was really, really hard for me, I eventually came out on top and graduated class of 2013, finally. Seems like it took forever, because it did. And it was honestly one of the happiest days of my life. And so now I'm just enjoying my summertime. And so what I thought would be happy, I actually lost my puppy about 2 weeks ago. And I've had her for 9 years, and her name is Sprinkles. And a lot of you follow me on Instagram, you know about her. And she's actually in a lot of my videos, and she's my best friend. And I was really, really sad. I've been going through a lot, and I miss her, but I know that she would want me to be happy. So rest in peace, baby girl. After this, I really do plan on going to community college and just starting off slowly and meeting new people and new experiences, and I'm really excited. And of course, I always plan on sticking to YouTube and just keeping up with you guys and keeping it in my life. And I do it because it's my happy place, and it's what makes me happy. And who knows what's next? I mean, when one door closes, another one opens. Always remember that. And I really just want a fresh start. Who knows what's next? I mean, I can move to California, which is my dream. I could be a famous reporter. I could be a hairstylist, maybe. Or maybe I can open my own boutique. Who knows? All I know is that only God can tell. And even though I do question what I really want to do with my life, in the meantime, I know that I have everybody in my life like you guys. I have my fans. I have the people who look up to me. People who make me smile when I don't want to. The people who believe in me. And because of that, I really do believe in myself. Because you are the reason I am the way I am today and who I am today. I started YouTube 3 years ago because I know what it's like to feel lost. I know what it's like to feel like you don't know who you are. And I wanted girls like me to find their self, because honestly, My life would be nowhere near as amazing as it is without the love and support that you guys given me, and because of that, you've changed my life forever. Makeup, hair, and fashion, it just gives girls a sense of confidence, a sense of making yourself feel good about yourself. And the one quote that I live by is, never let anyone tell you that you don't deserve what you want. You can always go after your dreams and achieve whatever you want, and always be true to yourself. Never change who you are or what you want for anybody else's opinions. And maybe it's not always about having a happy ending. Maybe having a happy ending doesn't include having everything figured out. Maybe it's you on your own, picking up the pieces and starting over, freeing yourself up for something better in the future. Maybe the ending is just moving on, or maybe the happy ending is just knowing after all the struggles in life, the ups and downs, broken hearts, through the blunders and setbacks, and through all the pain and disappointment, you never gave up hope. Be true to yourself always, and remember that I love you all no matter what. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for changing my life.